Welcome on in to Sports Memo Today. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, and we're happy to be with you here on a Tuesday edition of where you get to know your experts a little bit better and get that actionable info you know, you love all show long. Got another two great guests. You see there right to the side of me, I got Rocky Atkinson joining me here at the top. We got Ronald Cabang batting some cleanup here, and it's an all-football edition for you football fans. NHL is right around the corner. NBA preseason started up, so we're going to be diving deep with my man YouCapper RC come NBA season. But football's chugging along. Both these guys been running hot here, and we have some great specials for you. You see one there in the sidebar. You can get $10 off any $25 purchase. Just use code MEMO10, MEMO 10. And we also have a $2 Tuesday special for you going where you can get 3 handicappers for just $5. My man Rocky Atkinson, one of those handicappers. And speaking of them, let's bring him in. My guy Rock got the silky voice, got the plays to back it up. Always love seeing you, Rocky. How you been since the last time we talked, brother? Things been going good?
Yeah, things are going pretty good there, Dan. We did have a little scare with the hurricane coming through. It was a tropical depression by the time it got to us, but a few tree limbs down, but that's about it.
Yeah, and you see some of those sites from Florida, it could be much, much worse. So definitely, sending some thoughts out there, and you can always find different places that you can fund. After you win some money off of these guys' plays, you can take a little bit of that, sprinkle that on some hurricane relief. It's people helping people while we're all cashing tickets here. So, Rock, let's get right into it because the people don't want to just be hearing me blab. They want to hear your analysis on some of these football plays you've been running. Great. Let's start in college. And start with this Tennessee and LSU game because I feel like both of these teams maybe are searching for a little bit of an exhale because both of them escaped last week. Close games, it was against Florida for the Volunteers. LSU, you could argue they kind of got a wrong side winner against Auburn, couldn't cover. So both of these teams may be a little bit exhausted. Ain't no rest for the wicked Rocky. How are we betting this one?
Yeah, well, we have Tennessee coming in with a 4-0 record on the season. LSU's 4-1 on the season so far. This Tennessee offense has been incredible this year. They're ranked number 1 in total yards, where they're averaging 559.3 per game this season. They're number 2 in passing, 365.8 per game this year. They're led by quarterback Hendon Hooker and 2 very good running backs, Jabari Small and Jalen Wright. Hooker has 81 completions and 113 attempts for a completion percentage of 71.7. He's passed for 1,193 yards. He has 8 touchdowns, no interceptions on the year. And let's add to that, he's the 3rd leading rusher on the team, 175 yards on the ground. Jalen Wright leads the team in rushing, 256 yards on the ground this year. Jabari Small has 184 yards rushing this season. Tennessee has had an extra week to prepare for this one, actually. So I think they'll be pretty focused here. The road team in this series is 6-0-2 against the spread the last 8 meetings, and LSU's 1-5 against spread last 6 at home versus Tennessee. I think this Tennessee team is the real deal, and a meeting with Georgia down the road in November could be interesting. I'm going to recommend playing Tennessee Saturday.
Tennessee, the real deal. We also got some folks hopping in the live comments. We're streaming live on Wager Talk TV alongside Sports Memo TV. Thanks for everybody joining in. You can hop in the comments. You can make sure you subscribe, never miss anything. We had RJ hopping in there saying maybe he's looking towards Tennessee first half before we get into the NFL game. Any thoughts on them jumping out to an early lead against LSU, or, hey, let's not mess with it. Let's just get them home for the full game. What do you think, Rock?
Well, I mean, I agree with him. I think Tennessee's going to take it from the start and just take it to LSU. So a first half play might be good, and the full game as well.
I like to hear it. So, RJ, thanks for hopping in the comments. Let's talk a little NFL here, Rocky. Tampa Bay coming off a loss, and now they're going against the lone perfect, talking about perfect with Tennessee. Perfect ATS team is the Falcons, and they came into the year around 4.5 their win total. They've already nabbed 2, Rock, so maybe this Falcons team is better than we gave them credit for. How are you betting this one?
Yeah, we have both of these teams coming in with identical 2-2 records on the season. Who would have thought that? Tampa Bay, Tom Brady coming back. They've lost a couple in a row here. Atlanta being a surprise team so far. But Atlanta's ranked fourth in the league in rushing offense. They're averaging 168 yards per game on the ground so far this season. Patterson leads the team with 340 yards rushing. Tampa Bay is ranked 31st in the league in rush offense, averaging only 65.2 yards per game. The Tampa Bay offense is ranked 25th overall in the league this year. Atlanta, as you said, comes in with a 4-0 against the spread overall record on the season. They're scoring 25.8 points per game overall this year, 27 points per game on the road this season. Tampa Bay is 0-2 straight up at home this year, where they're allowing 27.5 points per game. They're 2-6 against the spread last 8 games after scoring 30 points or more in the previous game. I'm thinking Atlanta's going to control a good bit of the clock here with their running game and keep this one close. I'm going to recommend taking the Falcons plus the points on Sunday.
Man, Tampa Bay. And also, not for nothing, and we can't really handicap how it'll affect or anything, but you've been on social media blowing up with this Tom Brady, Giselle split news. So I'm not saying, factor that into your handicap or whatever, but when you have a quarterback whose mind might be elsewhere, however, let's be real, Tom Brady's mind is always on football. Maybe that's why he's in the situation that he's in. So Rocky, we got Tennessee. Comments are loving that play. People like first quarter, first half, any way you can get Tennessee. So seeming like a lot of folks liking the Vols. We'll see how that line moves. If the small comments segment and Rocky's thoughts are indicative of maybe where the marketplace is going, something to track. We'll follow up on Thursday's edition of Sports Memo Today. But Rocky, I know we got to get you out of here because you're going to be on Full Count coming up. Remind people, where they can get your plays, what you have up, and how they can be riding with you, brother.
Yeah, just join me at SportsMemo.com. I'm the $2 handicapper this week, and I do have my NFL game of the week up. I cashed 70% last year with all my NFL picks. And so far in the regular season this year, I have not lost. 4-0, 100%. I had that NFL game of the week up for Sunday. Join me, SportsMemo.com.
You can ride with Rock for just $2. And over at SportsMemo.com, you can head on over there and get the $3 or the $5, 3-pack. You get Teddy covers, Gold Sheet, both of those guys running hot in football. And you also get the game of the week from our guy, Rocky Atkinson. Rocky, always appreciate you, man. Great talking to you. Great hearing that silky vocals you bring to the show. And we'll see you on First Count, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Dan. Have a good one.
So that's going to do it for our guy, Rocky Atkinson. But we always come with the 2-pack here for you on Sports Memo Today. And coming in with the strong bat-to-back cleanup, it's my guy, Ronald Cabang, a.k.a. YouCapper. Ronald, it's good to see you, man. And before we hopped on, I was like, Ronald, are you rocking a Boston College hat? Heck no. That's the YouCapper brand, baby. That's what I'm talking about. How's it been, RC?
It's been great, man. We hit the 2 plays yesterday on Monday Night Football. NFL is treating us pretty well. Just came back from vacation not too long ago, so just overall life is going well. Betting is going well. We're heading into the months where we have a whole bunch of stuff to bet on: NBA, NFL, hockey, college football, college basketball. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, once basketball rolls around, that is where the life ends. No vacations going for Ronald Cabang. Once hoops is going, the only place that he's heading is to the gym to get that shot up. So, RC, let's get into it, brother. Let's start with the NFL, my guy. And look at this Texans and Jaguars game. I think it's pretty interesting because both of these teams may be coming into the year, low expectations. Jaguars, I think, with Doug Peterson a little bit higher. But you look at what Houston's done, at least against the spread. They haven't won a game, but 2-1-1 against the number. So what do you think? They're facing off a Jags team who just fumbled it. Actually, if you hear close enough, I think Trevor Lawrence just fumbled the ball again. 3-1-1, you think Houston can make it when they're facing off against the Texans, at least against the number? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I mean, we had that winless team here, the last winless team in the league, Houston Texans, visiting the Jaguars, who to me, I feel like are a surprise 2-2 team. Texans, even though they're winless, they've been pretty competitive through the first three
Hmm.
games of the season. They either had the lead or were tied at half or heading into the fourth quarter. So in those positions, they either had the tie or the lead. And they've just been really struggling to close out games. The Texans lost last week by 10 to the Chargers, but were in it for a majority of the game. The Chargers converted a 4th and 1 on their own 45-yard line, and that led to the last touchdown that put them ahead for good. But if the Texans would have held that Chargers team to a turnover on down, or even if the Chargers chose to punt it in that spot, the Texans would have been in position to either tie or take the lead with less than 5 minutes left in the game. On the other side, the Jags defense is really what put themselves in position to win week after week so far this season. They're fourth in the league in scoring defense, allowing only 16.8 points per game. They blanked the Colts and they kept the Chargers to just 10 points. And I know Herbert was playing hurt that week, but that's still tough to do against a Chargers team like that with all the weapons that they have. I definitely think the Jags have improved a lot since their 3-14 season, but I don't think they should be 7-point favorites in this matchup specifically. The Texans should be more motivated to win this game. Obviously, they haven't won a game yet. They want to win and go into this bye week with some type of momentum here. Whether or not that'll be enough for the win, I'm not sure. But the Jags have another key divisional matchup next week that could be sort of like a look ahead spot there. Since the 2010 season, if a team is going into a bye week playing a divisional opponent and their opponent is looking ahead to another divisional game, those teams are 21-5 against the spread. If you
Wow.
add that the opponent is coming off of a loss, the team that's going into the bye week is 11-0 against the spread. This supports and backs the Texans this week. I know it's tough backing a team that hasn't won a game yet. They're likely the worst team in the league overall, but they could be that team on a weekly basis that opponents come into the game thinking they'll just do whatever is necessary just to win the game. And when teams do that, it leaves them open for a backdoor cover or even outright losses. Look ahead spots to me are a real thing in the NFL
Hmm.
specifically. I think the Jags are in that spot and the Texans take advantage of it. They should stay within a field goal or even maybe possibly win it outright towards the end of the game. I'll drop another trend for you that backs the Texans here. Since the 2018 season, road dogs who have yet to win a game after week 1 of the season, 55, 25-1 against the spread. That's 68.8 cover rate. So far this season, that trend is 5-2-1. And that also supports the Texans. So I'd be taking the Texans here plus 7.5.
Man, looking towards the Texans. And, to quote Wager Talk owner and one of the stars on Bet on it, it sounds like, according to my guy Ronald Cabang, taking a page out of Marco's book, maybe the deli is open, a sandwich spot that's backing up the Houston Texans. So, RC, before we get to this college football play, I know the 7.5, I mean, that's the play right there. But, if your bankroll allows for it, would you maybe think a little money line sprinkle just because that's got to be a decent take back on the Texans? Obviously, we like that 7.5 a lot more, but it sounded like more and more when you were breaking down your handicap, this could finally be a shot for the Texans to get a W, and maybe the locker room believe in that too.
Yeah, I definitely think that's worth a shot, especially at the price that it's at right now. I mentioned that 21-5 against the spread trend earlier about, the going into a bye week and the opponent looking ahead to a divisional game.
Yeah.
18 of those 21 covers were straight up wins. So it's
Whew.
not out of the question that they could do it. So, I mean, it's a good trend to follow here. And, sprinkling a little bit on that money line, not a bad look.
Man, it's a good trend to follow, and I'll tell you what, Ronald Cabang is a good follow. Whether you're tailing the plays or just checking him out on Twitter and his own personal page, check out the YouCapper brand, because this guy is always dropping stats, trends, analysis that you do not want to miss out on, especially as we head towards one of his specialties with hoops right around the corner. So make sure you check him out, sm.buzz/RC. Find him on Twitter, YouCapper. Let's talk some college football. Man, this Clemson team, doubters coming into the year, all Clemson's done, win, 5-0, and now they face off against the team who I thought you were rocking a hat of, Boston College. Now you look at this game, and it's almost becomes one of those math problems because Tigers around the marketplace like 20.5-point favorites, but the total is like 48.5, like moving down to 48, 47.5 popping up. So it looks to me, Ronald, like the odds makers are just saying there's not going to be many points from Boston College in this game. So what do we think? Can Clemson maybe push towards that total on their own, or how are you going to be betting this one?
Yeah, I mean, Clemson, like you said, a lot of teams were looking at DJ Uiagalelei, and I think they didn't put that much respect on him, and he showed up. I mean, they're number 5 in the nation right now. They're 5-0. They're visiting a 2-3 Boston College team. The Tigers, they're coming off a 30-20 win, covering a 6.5-point spread against North Carolina, who are ranked 10th in the nation last week. The Tigers have a really balanced offense and typically do a great job finishing drives with touchdowns. But last week, the Wolfpack, they have a solid defense. They held the Tigers to 3 field goals, including a 20-yarder. And I don't think the Eagles' defense in this spot here will be as successful as slowing down the Tiger offense. I think Clemson should be able to cover the 20.5-point spread, but it's such a large number. This kind of leaves us open to a possible backdoor cover. Clemson also has a look ahead over to Florida State here. So I want to focus more so on what we know, and what we know is the Tigers can score. 15th in the nation in scoring, averaging 41 points per game. They're also tied for 15th in the nation in third down conversion at 52.6%. On the other side, the Eagles 214th in the nation in scoring defense, allowing 28.6 points per game, and they've yet to face a strong, balanced offense like the Tigers. The Eagles are coming off an outright win as double-digit dogs, and yet they're still 20-point dogs in this game against Clemson. That leads me to believe we'll see a little bit of a letdown spot here on both sides of the ball for the Eagles. The starting quarterback for the Eagles, Phil Yurkovich, he's extremely turnover-prone through 5 games. He has thrown 6 picks and lost 4 fumbles. He's also been sacked 17 times already this season. With that much pressure on him, you can kind of see why he has turned the ball over as much as he has. With that said, the Tigers should have some possessions where they start on the opponent's side of the field, and that's going to lead to quick scores. From a trend perspective, since the 2019 season, teams coming off a win as double-digit dogs and are at least 20-point dogs in this game, like Boston College's, they're 8-12-1 against the spread, 14-7 to the over. Opponents are averaging 44.8 points per game, and the favorites have scored over 35.5 points in 15 of those 21 games. 35.5, I point that out because that's what Clemson's team total is. And for that, I feel like DJ Uiagalelei should be able to lead this offense to at least 38 points or more. I'm personally going to take the Clemson team total over 35.5 here.
Man, not only coming with the knowledge, but able to pronounce DJ Uiagalelei. That's impressive stuff out of my guy, Ronald Cabang. Make sure you hit him with the follow, _capper. All his plays can be found at sm.buzz/RC. Speaking of plays, what do you have up? What are you rocking with? I know you're excited with basketball right around the corner, but if people head over to your page at Sports Memo, what kind of stuff will they find, Ronald?
Yeah, I just posted both of these plays here for my premium clients, so you guys are getting that for free. I also posted my top play for Thursday Night Football. I've hit, I think, my last 3 primetime games in the NFL as well. And obviously, I'm really excited for the NBA season. We're just a couple of weeks away. I'm Sports Memo's #1 all-time leader in NBA profit after just 2 seasons with Sports Memo. They actually set me up with a nice promo for a full season package. You can get all my NBA plays through the NBA Finals for just over $2 a day. You could use the coupon code BANG20, that's BANG, BANG200, BANG200 at checkout for that deal. Man, I'm just really excited for the next few months, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and there's not going to be much sleep coming in your future because he's doing the work so you don't have to. Always appreciate you, man. Great seeing you, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon, brother. Thank you. So that's going to do it for our guy, Ronald Cabang. Again, use that promo code BANG200. That's what you're going to be saying a lot when those plays keep hitting. Bang, another one. You can ride with him for the entire NBA season. Also, you see next to me, we got a promo code going down here, Memo 10. You can get $10 off any product that's priced at $25 or higher. Great price, a great way to save on some of these daily packages. Ride with some of these guys, see how you like it, and then maybe commit to one of those long-term packages like we have with Bang 200. Speaking of just trying for a day, why not pay $5? Get 3 handicappers for that $5. You're going to get Teddy covers, a 5% play. You're going to get the gold sheet, 5% play, and a big ticket play from Rocky Atkinson, just $5, only at sportsmemo.com. So that's going to do it for us. If you enjoyed the show, appreciated everybody hopping in the live comments here. We're streaming live on Wager Talk TV and Sports Memo TV, and we appreciate you doing it. All we ask, like, subscribe, and hop in those comments. Let us know what you're thinking, what you're going to be playing. And that's going to do it for us. Huge thanks to Rocky Atkinson. Huge thanks to Ronald Cabang. I'm Dan Alexander, and we'll see you Thursday with the Thursday crew. We got Eric Pauly and Mid-Major Matt right here on Sports Memo Today.